Talking about the problem. Remember we got the three main points: the need, satisfaction, and visualization. When you're talking about the problem, if you want people to feel anger about something or sadness, narrate. I talked about using examples, but you can have those really good, thick narrative examples, stories that really personalize things. Take your audience to that place, to that time when a kid couldn't learn because the classroom was too big, or that somebody suffered because of this or that. Take them to that place where they can be there, and that's what the whole theory of proximity is about. Using your discourse to tell stories in a way to bring your audience to certain places and times so they will feel intense emotions, or vice versa, taking them away from those to change the emotions. So that's theory of proximity. That's part of all this stuff. So the next slide, slide 8, is okay, that sort of tells me how I can do this stuff, but what else can I do? You can use emotional language and thick word pictures. There are some folks who talk about God terms and devil terms, and that has nothing to do with religion. It just means terms that are really, really positive in our society, like love, hope, children. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a better day, so let's keep on giving. Devil terms are all the terrible things, violence, rape, evil, evil. Develop vivid examples. This is basically just what Aristotle said. Speak with sincerity and conviction. One of the things that I always say, if you want your audience to feel a certain emotion, show it. I don't want you to get all crazy, because that can be problematic. You don't want to yell, scream, start throwing things. But if you're angry, you can show it in a sense without going too far. And then also you can use visuals to have emotional appeals. Think of all the dog commercials and things like that. They're horrible. They're hard to watch. But you can utilize that stuff to an extent without going overboard in your speeches. The next thing is, what about ethics? So I think going back to A. That's pretty easy stuff. It's no-brainer stuff. It's just actually doing it. And by the way, word pictures, and I think I've talked about this before, word pictures are those things where you use your language and very strong adjectives, because there are 5 senses: what is it? Smell, taste, touch, hearing, and seeing. And how can you use your language to create a vision, a picture for your audience where they can maybe taste something, hear it, they can feel it, they can smell it, they can see it. So very, very thick and rich language. Now, this is the ethics part. Which, remember, we talked about a little bit about how ethos is sort of related to ethics, but it's not the same thing. But here, what's so important to me is that when you're doing this, you use it very sparingly. My fear is that a lot of, particularly like political discourse, we see particularly in like commercials and stuff like that, they're based on, they don't have a lot of facts in them. They're just trying to scare you or make you angry about something, and I just think that's not ethical. You've got to have all of that stuff. If you're going to make people feel something, have the evidence also to back up that there's a problem, so forth and so on. So that's important to me. Just so realize, again, you have to have all 3 of the Aristotelian trinity there in order to be an effective and ethical speaker. Now, here is the bonus opportunity. The next slide has an image of Hillary Clinton from the 90s in the delightful pink outfit. I have a blazer just like that. If you go to the very final slide, that is a link to her very, very well-known speech that she gave in China about women's rights and equality, and the whole tagline women's rights or human rights. It was very, very well received. It's known as one of her best speeches, and I think it's ranked up there like one of the best speeches in the 20th century. You have to go back to AmericanRhetoric.com. And then also, if you close this PowerPoint and you go down to the bookmarks to help with Pathos, and I'll also put my video under there as well. But that's a link to the transcript of it. It's remarks at the UN Fourth World Conference delivered the 5th of September 1995 in Beijing, China. And so you got two choices. You can either watch this on YouTube, it's about an hour, or you can read it if you'd rather. And I want you to bring to class next Tuesday a one-page reflection on this speech from the perspective of Pathos. You don't have to type it. You can just write it out. How do you think she employed language to make people feel something? To put people in a certain emotional frame of mind, and why do you think she did that? So sort of analyzing her use of pathos. And that's for 5 points bonus for your persuasive speech. So hopefully you watch this and you do it so you can get that bonus. And hopefully this is giving you a little bit of information about pathos. I'm going to leave it at that, and again I apologize for doing it this way. I just thought going to campus tonight with all the stuff that's going on would be a huge headache, and also it allows us to sort of have the night to work on other things. Let me know if I can do anything. Please email me if you need anything, or if you want to continue bouncing ideas for the persuasive speech, or you want to send me rough outlines or rough stuff if you're already working on your editor letter. If you want to send me a rough draft, that's absolutely great and wonderful. And look at this. Look what he did. He just destroyed the monkey. There's little stuffing all over the place, if you can see. But have a tremendous night, and just let me know how I can help. Take care.